Are they fist bumping?
They might be. Yeah, there it is.
Ooh,
All right.
Transfer of germs, guys. What the hell was that? What's the point of the 6 feet? No, I'm kidding. but I'm not gonna be. Were you guys fist bumping at the local you were at?
We did, and we actually did talk about that too. We were like, "Is this okay to do now?" We don't really know.
You ever seen that Vine where like a guy's in like a coffee shop and there's like a couple kissing and he just says like, "Is this allowed? Is this allowed?" And then they get mad at him. Like that's just what I'm thinking about every
I haven't
person.
seen that, but I think that's a pretty apt description of how everyone feels coming back to these offline tournaments. But grand finals
would not be fist bumping right now personally, but we do know that it is much more of a what's it called, aerosol kind of virus. Like it's not so much surface based as it is like breathing, but still a beautiful call out from Lukademus and gets the first stock. Juicebox on the back foot and also not rocking the Juicebox either, it seems.
Wow, look at you, Juicebox, just ad-libbing like that. I'm proud of you, man.
Actually, full credit goes to production for that comment earlier. I saw Juicebox there, and I'm just blatantly ripping off our wonderful production person.
Damn, yeah, Lukademus looking like he has just brought in a ton of momentum from the previous set, so maybe we'll see if we write a bit of a different story for this chapter of Xanadu. Juicebox evening it back up right now, but single grab, single hit could spell the end of it.
Yeah, I do think that like having some warm-up sets, if you want to call what we just watched, can really help. You know, like you get kind of in the zone, you get some practice, you feel good about the matchup. Like confidence is such a big thing in any form of competition, and feeling like, yo, I'm sick at this might be the reason why we're seeing Lukademus up a solid stock right now. Very, very impressive.
Ooh, gets put in tumble. That was so awkward. Yeah, gets the shield. So Juicebox found a shield hit on top platform, but because Juicebox was facing in towards the platform, he entered tumble instead of being able to slide off from that. So it was pretty awkward. Found like a big chunk of percent. Doesn't quite take the stock just yet. So we'll see if Juicebox can get some gravy to put on these potatoes for this one.
And that actually is a great point. If you are a player at home, it's very common with Sheik players, but it's also common with Falco, whatever you end up doing. If you're a player who light shields on a platform in between stocks, these are crazy Omsa techs, by the way. Like, I feel like every Sheik player just has insane Omsa tech. Like, they're just all good at them for some reason. But what I was going to say was, if you are light shielding on a platform, Walt is absolutely correct. You got to make sure that if you were to be pushed off, that you're facing the direction that you get pushed off in. Because if you don't, your character will just like roll backwards and fall in the tumble animation, and then they can just punish you very easily. And I think way too many newer players, or like mid-level players that know about shield dropping, know about the light shield thing, don't know about that and end up getting put into really bad spots.
Yeah, it's very, very kind of interesting thing. The nerd term is called misfoot, actually, for, you know, like what Melee calls it when you're facing that way. It's kind of neat, though. Like, you know, we did see Seabass, the Luigi player. You've seen, like, there are some Luigi players out there. Abate is the big one that comes to mind that kind of intentionally does that so he can put himself in knockdown and then use the get-up attack as an edgeguard tool. It might not be the most optimal, but it's super cool looking, so that's what matters.
That is absolutely what matters. I think cool stuff, like, there, you know, one of Scar's best lines in commentary has to be, like, the Big House Lucky versus Mango set where he says, like, Melee players, even when there's thousands of dollars in the line, like, we always want to be cool, like, we always want to be swagging or whatever, and very, very true. If you can do something that's like no one has ever seen before, that's the reason why you play, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And with all of that in mind, Lukademus is the first one on the board here. So 2 games away from the bracket reset. We got to see if Juicebox can find the adjustment here, because he did 3-0 Lukademus in winter semis just about an hour ago.
Yeah, already we're seeing some of the Sheik practice pay off against Fortissimus. So, honestly, I know we bring this up all the time, but if you are making your tag and it's like more than 3 syllables, I don't know, man. Like 4 syllables, turn down for Walt is one thing, that because it's kind of like it all sort of rolls off the tongue and the syllables are so short. But like Fortissimus, I don't know.
It's still yeah. My tag is hard, and I usually just let people say just Walt or whatever, which is good enough for me. I just needed a clever tag for my YouTube channel, to be completely honest. But
I think it's unfortunately still better than some of the tags that our very best players have. And I'm not calling out anyone in particular for obvious reasons, but not everyone's got like the mango kind of tag where it's like easy, rolls off the tongue. Commentators are never gonna mess up saying it. You know, you got to think about your brand.
I'm kind of insulted that you are throwing my favorite tag, Sasuke Bowser, out the window like that. And also, there are some absolute heavy hitters out there, like LeBron James is a tag that someone had in Melee. So,
see, that's the thing is, it's like, so LeBron James, very strange Melee tag. Like, we all agree that, you know, like LeBron James, kind of a strange pick. But in a way, having to, you know, when it's not that, and you're still having to say like many syllables on commentary, it's like, well, at least it's LeBron James, at least it's funny, you know, like it's not just something that's, you know, if it's blue eyes white privilege, okay, yeah, that's not going to be very easy to say on commentary, but at least we have a laugh. But sometimes you'll get some tag where it's just like just a bunch of numbers and letters, and you're just like, oh my god, dude, please, like, it's just brutal. I don't know. And I think
I feel you, man. I'm just gonna say, if Sasuke Bowser's out there listening, just know that you have at least one fan in me.
even that is only 4 syllables. Like, how many? Okay, I'm just thinking. I, B, D, W. How many is it? 6? Like,
yeah.
That's the one that sticks out to me. I know I said I was going to call anybody out, but I'm trash. So, point is, some tags are very difficult to say. And as a commentator, I encourage any up-and-coming Melee players to strongly consider that when you are making your own tag. Because
it's a big decision, man. Like, I mean, I thought about mine only for YouTube. So it was kind of like, oh, what am I going to make my tag? This is the rest of my life that we're talking about.
I literally like put a lot of thought into mine, and it's not even that original, but I literally was like, okay, I want to make sure that my tag is something that like is easy to say, memorable, all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like Bobby Big Balls. I mean, it definitely says something about Bobby, aka
I mean,
Bobby.
it's better than, it's way rolls off the tongue is the big word, right? Than immense syllable for balls that starts with the letter I, Isaac.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we went on that insane tangent, by the way, apologies to those of you tuning in now who had no idea what was going on. But Juicebox did some adjusting, and he figured some things out in that game too. It looked like pretty strong, kind of shades of the winter semi set that we were getting earlier, which was a 3-0. So Yoshi's the counter pick, kind of ever the counter pick, it feels like. This is where our plethora of Sheiks have been going for the past 40 minutes when we've been seeing all these Sheiks here. And Juicebox is still somehow finding a huge chain grab to extend the lead even further.
I will say to the people in the chat who are like, what are they talking about? This is what, our 3rd or 4th Sheik Ditto of the night. Like, so at a certain point it can
changes
get
it, man.
Yeah, it does. It starts to get to the point where you're like, oh my god, did that Sheik get a grab in this matchup? No way. No way. And then he went for an F tilt fair. I'm kidding though. I actually do like this matchup, and I think there's a lot of nuance into how people get the openings that they do, particularly in terms of like there's so many small things like your stage positioning, whether you're on a platform or not, what percents, you know, what a CC is on the table right now being at 0 versus 126. Lukademus is really playing conservatively and, of course, gets called out for it. So there's a lot of nuance here. But, you know, you need to unwind every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing that I always think about when I see Sheik Dittos is, it's funny, I actually mentioned this in the video I'm about to post tonight, is just like, if they agree to chain grabs or not. And like Juicebox is clearly a chain grabber. I think most of the people we've seen in the Xanadu bracket so far have kind of succumb to the chain grab, either because their opponent's doing it or because they just do it anyway. Nothing wrong with it either way. It's just kind of like an interesting discussion, because I know there's people who still kind of subscribe to the idea of, you know, we're going to do it the honest way.
So, I would like to ask a question, because I was watching Mango's stream the other day, and he was talking about, like, he was making fun of Sheik players in a way that I think is unjustified, where he was saying, like, you know, they have to be, like, wusses or whatever because they, like, ban chain grabs in their games. Like, he was saying, like, can you imagine Fox players banning chain grabs? Like, they'd just be like, no, I'm just gonna do what I want. I view it as kind of like, almost like a, like, you know, okay, we're gonna do this because it's more honest or something. However, I personally would chain grab. I think it's like, it's just in the game, and I kind of see where Mango's coming from. So, Walt, what do you think about chain grabs in the Ditto, in general, like the ability to turn them off and on by a gentleman's agreement, essentially?
I mean, I don't really mind it either way. I think it's kind of just, you know, because there are like mind games within the mind games, right? So Juicebox is going to go up to 1. In the meantime, potentially knocking on the door of Xanadu 410 victory here. But I think when it comes to that, it's kind of like for Sheik as the example, obviously that's the one that we're seeing on screen. There are mix-ups that come along with that. I mean, case in point, you and I were talking about kind of, it hits a certain percent where it becomes a little bit awkward and unsure if your opponent is going to land on a platform or not, for instance, and then kind of what's your follow-up there. Obviously, we're not going to have that issue on Final Destination, just one giant-ass platform anyway, but I don't mind them. I think they're pretty okay. I do it because my character's trash, so I kind of have to, but, you know, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's still an execution in its own right.
Absolutely, and like, you know, there's nuance to it. For Sheik, like, you can't do it at 0, and then even like a little bit after that, it's very, very frame tight. However, at percents like 120, it's pretty free, but that's okay. I actually think like it's one of those things where the argument, like the classical argument for it, has always been like, you know, it either makes neutral less important because the punish game is so strong, or it makes it more important, if you want to make that argument, because like the punish game is so guaranteed that neutral is the only thing that really decides things. I don't know if I agree with that, but, you know, there's good stuff to it. It's like going to be a big grab,
yeah.
by the way.
I think it almost becomes like a mini wobbling debate, almost. But like, I do think the execution is important. It's not as easy as just learning a button timing. You still have to kind of have a read on your opponent and kind of figure out their escape options and how they want to DI and how you're going to react to it. You can still flub it. I mean, you know, you can still flub a wobble, but it's banned, so you can't.
Oh my god, these
flub it
forwarders,
anymore.
well, he just like whapped him, like punched him 1, 2, 3, like he just sat there and just hit him like over and over and over again. Like bonk, bonk, bonk. Holy crap.
Ooh, Lukademus looked like he wanted to dash dance there and got a little bit caught up in his movement. Finds the CC down smash. Either way, but Juicebox just answering back with the dash attack towards center, and big punish here for 95%.
Ooh, really beautiful ledge dash, though. You know, worth mentioning, Lukademus is absolutely fighting back, trying to take this set, and bringing Juicebox, you know, like this is looking very Lukademus favored, but just as I say that, not going to make it back for this stock. Can he open up Juicebox and take the stock?
He's just going to do it for him.
Yeah, no big deal now. Now we just, you know, who gets some needle damage to get the chain grab completely on the table, and it does look like it's going to be Lukademus again. So, but he drops
and there it is. Yeah, you can flub it. You can mess it up.
No wall. Everything in Smash is guaranteed. Execution is a lie, and anything cheesy is especially easy, no matter what. Good stuff to Lukademus. We got ourselves a set, gang. We got ourselves a competitive
Game 5. Yeah, this is
Game
crazy.
5.
I mean, definitely turning the corner a bit from, again, the winner semi set was a 3-0, and it was a pretty commanding 3-0, I think, for that first one that we saw. Lukademus putting on a really good showing here.
Yeah, this we're seeing a lot of the markings of a good player, someone who is adapting to their opponent, who's able to kind of keep it together mentally when they're down. I think a big, it's important to stay together, to keep kind of fighting, to not get worn out. Stamina is a huge thing in Melee, I would say. But I think, Lukademus has a very real shot here, and I like the wall jump, keeping it fresh and exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge damage swing in favor of Juicebox. He could kind of just rinse and repeat until he feels he wants to end the stock, which is probably right now.
Yeah, very, very classic edge guard. It's very, very consistent. You basically react whether or not they go on the platform at that percent, and then they land on the stage. You just regrab and repeat the cycle of edge guards. By the way, Juicebox is at 38% here. He had a full stock lead. It was looking comfy, and it still kind of is.
Yeah, this is what gets really, really tough, because especially with chain grabs on for both sides, if you're not finding the grab, you just need a straight up neutral win, and then you need a few of them to get a stock here.
Yeah, and this grab is gonna be a big deal here. If Lukademus can kind of close this out, get some of the momentum back, because yeah, you can't take the stock like.
Oh, he wanted to wall jump.
The existence of the chain grab just makes it so that, like, even at relatively low percents, you can suddenly lose so much momentum.
Yeah, good situational awareness there from Lukademus. Catches Juicebox light shielding on left platform. Just fares him anyway. I think a lot of people would look for maybe like a waveland on platform grab. Fares him and then just immediately reacts with a land forward tilt to scoop him up and wrap up that first stock. But still at a pretty sizable deficit nonetheless. It's going to take a while for him to return to parity.
Yeah, and there's just small things that are costing Lukademus. Like, for example, Lukademus opted to go for a needle charge there, and Juicebox, realizing that he had just enough time to come in, get a fair, and then kind of have good stage positioning, and it just wasn't really worth it for Lukademus. But it's like that kind of situational awareness that's kind of separating the kind of skill level here, and it's why we're seeing Juicebox run away with this game, I think.
Yeah, last stock potentially of the tournament right now. Juicebox doesn't want to see a second set here, wants to close the door right now. Lukademus certainly has his work cut out for him, though, to make that reset happen.
Yeah, but as much as we've been saying it can kind of like really swing the momentum hard, and it's been in Juicebox's favor, the existence of the chain grab does make it so that a comeback is possible. But wow, pivot regrab.
Yeah, that was insane.
That's
wow, right idea with the up smash too, but Dreamland, the counter pick in favor of Juicebox actually prevents that from working.
Oh my god, the DI on that was perfect, making it difficult to follow up, but Lukademus still gets it.
Oh, he's gonna...
Dude. Ooh. 49, okay. Oh my god, he's insane.
He actually got it too.
That's like the... I don't even know if that's confidence or just like screw this kind of feeling. And Juicebox does take it. Good stuff to Juicebox. Very, very solid Sheik play. But Lukademus, impressing me for sure.
Yeah, that was a good showing. Absolutely. Made it through a handful of Sheiks and a Luigi for what we got to see. So, yeah, just impressive stuff. This was Xanadu 410. And Juicebox is going to be crowned the victor for this one. It was gonna be a Sheik.